Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Anal with Great Millstone Borderland Saints of El Paso, Texas. Welcome to another video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all honor, all praise, and all glory unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kwadash. Also, double honors to the head apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all sincere Akia. Keep believing, keep teaching, and keep preaching, whether they hear or whether they forbear. And we'll be starting our lesson out here today in the book of Ephesians, the 4th chapter. We'll get started there. And prayerfully, this lesson will be of edification to the 144,000 hopeful elect, all right, of the tabernacle of David, all right. And those of you who are serving Yahweh Shai, all right. Now we're going to get started here. Like I said, Ephesians, the 4th verse, and it reads, 4th chapter, Ephesians 4:1. I, therefore, the prisoner of Yahweh Shai, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. All right. So this lesson is going to be on walking worthy, walking worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. All right. And we all know that you're called to be holy, to be righteous, and to be just. Okay. We all know that that's what you're called into. 1 Peter 1:16. Be ye holy, for I am holy. Okay, so that's what we are going to start with, that you walk worthy of this vocation, okay, of holiness and righteousness. And it says with all lowliness and meekness. All right, with all lowliness means to be humble. Okay, be humble. All right, be meek. It says that the meek shall inherit the earth. All right. In Paleo Hebrew, that word meek is spelled I-N-A-H. All right. I-N-A-H means meek. So you want to have a meek and humble spirit, because certainly that's the reason why we serve Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, because we love him like he loved us. We believe in him. And we serve him because we believe in him. All right, we honor and give glory unto his holy name, Yahawah, unto his son, who has put over all things that he created, Yahweh Shai. All right, and in order to be able to be worthy of this vocation, we must have the same mind as Yahweh Shai, which is his will, was to do his Father's will. Okay, that should be our will, because that's what his will is. Yahweh Shai will is to do the will of his Father. Okay. And that's what we should do also, as written, let this mind be in you that was also in Yahweh Shai. All right. That's what his mindset was, to do his Father's will. Okay. That's honorable for a son to do that. Okay. For his Father, okay? The Father being Yahawah, the creator of all things, the God of Israel, our power. And it says, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. So we have to be long suffering, one toward another. I'm talking to the Israelites, the elect, all right? And it says, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. All right. So we want to be in unity, speaking the same thing. All right. Preaching this gospel of holiness and righteousness. All right. According to the will, which is these holy scriptures, tells us how to live and what we should be teaching. Okay. And what we should be looking out for and what we should avoid. Okay. So we know we should be avoiding sin. And it says, there is one body and one spirit, even as you are called in one hope of your calling. So your hope is that you will be redeemed. Okay, that's that one calling. All right, that you'll be redeemed, that you'll live by faith, doing the will of Yahawah. All right, that's your one calling. One Lord, Yahawah, one faith, holiness, and one baptism by the Spirit of these scriptures, these living waters. Okay, that's that baptism. All right. And it goes on to say in the 5th verse, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. Okay. See, so who is all? That's talking about the Israelites, Romans 9:4. All right, let's just go over there, and we're going to come back, right back to the 4th verse, so we'll know who that is. Romans 9:4 reads, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. All right, that adoption is Yahawah adopting you back to Yahawah from the sins that were put on you through Adam and Eve. All right, when they sinned, Yahawah counted all men sinners. Then he sent his son. All right, because he separated himself from the Israelite. He went into curses through 4 kingdoms. All right, the first one being the Assyrians and Babylonians, the second one being Persia and the Medes, the third one being the Greeks of the Roman Empire, and then the second leg of the Roman Empire. All right, the Romans up under Herod, you see. So we suffered those things, all right, because the Lord put us away for adultery and idolatry. And then he sent his son to redeem you because he remembered his covenant to Abraham, all right, who was the father of righteousness. Okay? And then he gave this adoption through Yahawah to bring us back and reconcile us from our evil that we had done from the beginning of time, also the evil we done after he had spoken through Moses. All right. And we started sinning and started making false images. It tells you not to do that. The 10 Commandments. Thou shalt have no other God before me. Thou shalt not create any images. Thou shalt not take the Lord thy God's name in vain. His name is Yahawah. All right. All right. Now we're going to go back over to the 7th verse, and it says, but unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahawah. So that's where the grace comes in. Up under Yahawah, he died for our sins and gave us some grace. Okay, he adopted us, and then he gave us some grace. You see, by going up on the cross and reconciling us and adopting us back to Yahawah. It was through his blood that we received that adoption. Okay, because we had fell away because of sin. All right, and that's the reason why we praise his holy name, Yahawah and Yahawah. All right, the righteous, they were called on the name of the Lord, because the name of the Lord is a tower, it's a high tower, and the righteous run into it. It didn't say anything about sinners running into it. It said the righteous, the holy, the Israelites that we just talked about in Romans 9:4. That seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who Yahawah died for. The 12 tribes of Israel, all right, as written in the book of Genesis. I believe it is the 49th chapter. All right, and it says, whereof he saith, when he ascended up in high and led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men, now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. Okay, see, that was Yahawah. Died on the cross, then he was transcended back into the heavens, into his original body. which was an immortal body. All right, he did the work in the flesh for us, making an example for us. And it says, and he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the works of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahawah. All right, so that's what we're eating. All right, the body of Yahawah. All right, that's the water of life, the bread that we need, the meat that we need. All right, that spirit. Okay, that's where the everlasting life comes into play. So we can't be, we should not be moving in the spirit of the flesh, but in the spirit of Yahawah. All right, we have to put away the things of the flesh, the sins that so easily beset us. All right, lying, stealing, malice, envy, strife, murder, homosexual activities, adultery, idolatry, lesbianism. You see, we have to put all those things behind us. Okay, because those things create a gulf, and it pulls us back into losing the adoption. All right, so we have to get rid of that sin. All right, be very, very aware of it. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt love thy mother and thy father. All those things that were written in the beginning of time. All right, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, you see, or anything that belonged to thy neighbor. All right, love thy mother and thy father so that you have a long life. All these things are pleasing in Yahawah, okay, in his sight. And it says, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahawah, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the statures of the fullness of Yahawah. You see, that's what we're looking for. All right. And it says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive, because we know we have false prophets out there. We see that in Christianity. Okay, where this devil has exalted himself as God, you see, and through the Roman Catholic Church and Christianity and all these other religions. You got about 35,000 different religions this devil has put out on the earth to deceive mankind. He allows that to happen, especially here in the daughter of Babylon, where they are constantly practicing witchcraft, all right, to make themselves rich. You have millions who are signing over to witchcraft here in the daughter of Babylon, the USA, and throughout the world, all right, because they want to be rich. They don't care anything about the body of Yahawah and living by the Spirit. And that's what we have to deal with every day, you see. We have to put on the armor of the Most High to be able to fight those things, all right? Now let's go over that, and let's go over to Ephesians 6 and 11. We're going to go over there to Ephesians 6 and 11 and see what it says. Ephesians 6 and 11 says, put on the whole armor of Yahawah that you may be able to withstand, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right. So you got to be able to withstand against the wiles of the devil. All right. We know who the devil is. For the most part, the spirit that worketh through the men who are unholy and unrighteous, the spirit of Esau, the so-called white man, pushing this evil all over the earth, all right, through his kingdom. The prince of the air, all right, we know that they use the air to program your minds through TV and all of that, social media and all of that, you see. They have you being prostitutes and you men being pimps and being robbers and all of that, and being murderers. That's what they play on television all day. All right, to program your minds, you have to be aware of that and fight against that type of influence, you see. And it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. This is Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Who is that? That's the elites. You see, the rich elites. Okay, Lucifer, the head banking families that's told you you're African American and you're Native Americans and you're Latinos. They know that you're the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, according to biblical prophecies in the book of Daniel and in the book of Ezra and books like that goes into those different kingdoms. You see, they know who you are biblically and historically. So that's the reason why they hide the truth. They don't encourage you to read it. They took the 12 commandments out of the schools. You see, because they were convicted by what it tells you to do, because they want to do the opposite. That's the spirit of the devil there. All right, the prince of the air. And it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So we see that up in the White House, spiritual wickedness. But this devil is doing the work of the Lord, because the Lord, Yahawah, created, you see, he created everything, heavens and the earth, evil. He created good and evil. All of that to fulfill these prophecies that were written in the beginning of time. And all these things are happening. We see the mark of the beast on us, coming up where they want to put the RFID microchip in you. You see, we see all of that happening. We see the Persia and the Medes just this month fighting against the daughter of Babylon. You see, it's prophesied. We see Jacob's trouble already kicking off, where they were sending you out of here and sending you into other nations and putting you in prison in other nations. All these things were prophesied would happen. All right. And it says in the 13th verse, seeing these things, wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahawah, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to withstand. It says, stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. So that's what you want to have the breastplate on for, because you're going to have to fight against the wiles of the devil. You see, you're in the armies of Yahawah and Yahawah Shai. All right. And you're going to need a spiritual sword to be able to fight against the wiles of the devil. All right. You're going to have to take on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. And it says, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith. You see, so you're going to need some peace. You're going to need some peace, and you are going to need some faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right, you're going to have to be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. You see, those are the fiery darts that the prince of the air is going to push on you. Like I said, to program your mind. And you see people doing it, stealing, killing, murdering, whoring, selling their bodies, women sleeping with women, men sleeping with men. All these things are the fiery darts of the wicked that they're pushing on you to do and training you to do. Dishonoring your bodies among yourselves. You see, doing those things that are not natural. All right. That's what you're doing. That's your common day in, day in and day out. Those are the fiery darts of the wicked. And it says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahawah. That's what you're going to need. That's your sword. Make sure you keep your sword with you. Study it, understand it, and do the will of Yahawah. All right, that's your sword. That's how you can fight off the wiles of the devil. You're going to need your sword, this Holy Bible, these Holy Scriptures. Always keep your sword. All right, so when the devil comes, you can cut him off. You see? This Holy Scriptures to cut that evil wickedness out of your hearts and your mind, out of your mind. You see, it says, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. Get up and pray. Pray throughout the day. Just talk to Yahawah. He hear you. And it says, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. All right, that's what you want to do. Preaching the gospel, doing the holy will. Go to the highways and byways, okay, to the gates of the city and preach the gospel. All right, that's what you men should be doing. All right. All right. Now listen, we're not going to hold this lesson long. We want to give you a quick lesson, something you to think about, okay? Because you're servants of the Most High. You're in the armies of the Most High. Just like King David when he destroyed Goliath. You see, the Spirit was with him. You see, he defeated a giant. The Lord's going to use you the same way in these last days, a remnant of you. All right, he's going to save you. All right, Yahawah's going to come with his sword and with the archangel Michael and a legion of angels. All right, and destroy the works of the devil. Okay, so we're looking forward to that day, but we're going to have to put on the whole armor of Yahawah that we may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now we're going to stop there. You think on those things, be holy, be righteous, and do the will of the Lord. According, it says, putting on a new man. I think that's in Colossians 3:10. You got to put on that new man. All right? In holiness and righteousness. And we're going to stop there and give our honor, our praise, and our glory unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kwadash. Shalom to the hopeful elect of the house of David, also to the elder apostles, all right, and elder bishops, to the head apostles and elder bishops of great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all sincere. Akim, Shalom, Wa Abababal.